Hello, this is Shagg. You might remember this game as the Touhou that god dang it, no demonstrations for you. As the Touhou that I tried. And I liked it, so I kept playing it, and eventually I got actually somewhat decent. It's still easy mode, but hey, I completed the game with a normal amount of lives without using a continue. So, let's do what it says and watch some elegant replays, shall we? Post-commentary action. The thing that is fashionable nowadays. So for this, I used solo Yuyuko rather than any pair. Because A, I am silly, B, I for some reason have grown attached to her character, and C, well, ridiculous spread shot. I don't care that it doesn't do much damage. Just butterflies everywhere, oh Jesus. Everything dies. And it's great. The first stages are, of course, not very consequential. Stuff happens, you shoot it, you get stuff. There's like little risk to you unless you're a total idiot, like I was in recordings that aren't this one. And by recordings, I mean attempts to play this game that aren't this one. For example, if you're too greedy for power-ups and you head straight to the center of the screen, you might get kicked in the head by Wriggle and lose a life, or all of your shame will appear. Yes. So basically, if you want to be more careful, rather than jumping for all the items, I guess it's more important to go after the power ones, so that you shoot things. Silly dialogue happened. Cue the first boss fight. You've already seen this one, even if you haven't played and you only know my other video, which seems kind of unlikely. But anyway, like the stage, Wriggle is not very consequential. One thing about Wriggle is everyone's like, man, Wriggle's gender sure is ambiguous, and I'm like, what, really? It's pretty clearly a girl to me. That's all. Except for, well, everything else is a girl. I'm pretty sure the bullets and the point items are girls too, judging by the ratio of genders in this area. But seriously, that doesn't look very masculine. I mean, like, the one or two male characters slash entities look a lot more masculine than that, which isn't saying much, but hey. The extremely manly giant pink cloud that punches you with fist bullets is awesome. But this is still the only Touhou game I played, so I only know that through, like, reading information. Not that that's important. It's the second stage. Yep, that's about it here, too. You can't go as crazy for getting the power-ups because enemies actually appear more than never. It's a good idea to be safe around the things that don't die instantly, because they do shoot bullets. And if you are a fool, like me, you will not realize that you are on top of a bullet until it is too late. It seems like a situation that would be hard to get yourself into, but you have no idea. One thing I should mention is that when playing as a solo yokai, I guess you don't see the quote-unquote familiars that shoot the bullets, which are those weird circle things coming out of stuff, from what I understand. Meaning that you can't hurt them and they can't hurt you, except for the bullet spawning that they do. Also, when you're using a yokai, it doesn't seem like you can go to the human side of the meter, where if you're using a human, you can go to the yokai side of the meter more. Yokai, I guess I should say. But The point being that you don't get time points nearly as easily. But then again, I don't care about that. This was less about the points and more about getting a victory. And proving that I can be okay at video games sometimes. Yep. So Mystia, who I've almost forgotten to talk about, despite her being right there. Really, the most dangerous thing about Mystia is like Wriggle. If you don't know what you're doing, they might like kick you in the head when they enter the screen. That's all you need to worry about for the most part. She did seem a lot, like, really threatening at first because she, like, blacks out half the screen, but that doesn't really mean much in the end. Basically, Touhou is about getting used to the fact that your hitbox is probably even smaller than that little dot on the focus character. But that's a good starting point for judging it. The other thing Touhou is about is music that gets stuck in your head, which is not really necessarily this theme or any themes we have seen thus far for me. So I'm kind of talking about it before it's relevant, but that's okay. Mystia continues to be non-threatening. This one is a little more threatening though, because if you're in the wrong place you might get hit by a DDR arrow, and nobody wants that to happen. Yep. You barely have to try to dodge the first two bosses, but you do have to try. So don't get too cocky, basically. There's a limited amount that I can say about it. If I was trying to be more super pro, I would probably hang around closer to the bullets to make friends with them for time points due to grazing shenanigans. However, I'm more concerned with my survival most of the time. And it's not a good idea to be fussy, says Yuyuko. I like Yuyuko, still. Just her hat is awesome for one, as is the rest of her outfit for the most part. And she's just so ridiculous, though all Touhou characters seem to be ridiculous. She's just totally spacey random, in a way, which applies to a lot of Touhou characters as well. I don't know. Just something grabbed me, I guess. And that's why I'm kind of annoyed that you can only play as Marissa and Reimu in 90% of Touhou games. By the way, we're in stage 3 now, in case you didn't notice. And the enemies are becoming more dangerous. Look, they're actually shooting bullets that persist after they die. And I got a life. And the bullets are kind of inconspicuous, too. They're not glaringly red or blue like usual. So you might find yourself running into those. I didn't choose the greatest place to hang around in what's-her-face's attack. Kamishirasawa? I don't know. History eater girl. What's her face? Anyway. Now I've kind of lost chance of saying what I was... It doesn't matter. She ate my memory there. That's my excuse. Those circular blasts are weird because the clear inside part's what hurts you, rather than the outside part. And I got another life. Getting lives all over the place is going to be something that happens for a while. But then it's going to go in the sharp opposite direction once I begin to be a total idiot but manage to survive somehow anyway. You may also notice I have loads of bombs. Those will be put to use eventually, I swear. I don't know why I need to swear, it's probably pretty obvious that that's gonna happen. So, like, intimidating looking attacks that don't mean much? Yes, please. This spell card is surprisingly not full of bullets. I mean, it has bullets, sure, but they're super easy to dodge and, like, very not threatening ever. Which I'm sure is much worse on higher difficulty levels. Now she's just doing this again, because unlike other bosses, she seems to be kind of unoriginal in her attack patterns between spell cards. I guess you could say that history repeats itself. Ho 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 ho! Gotta put some change in the pun jar for that one. These are also really easy to dodge for some reason. I'm surprised there's that much of a space between all these kunai everywhere. I get the feeling that if this was Sakuya I was fighting, her knives would be harder to dodge. Step it up, Keen. Jeez. This attack is also not hard to dodge. What a surprise. Do you see a running theme yet, since we're only on the 3rd stage? I think this massacred me? Wait, no, I didn't even get here when I first tried this, did I? I don't know. And Yuyuko wants to eat a dragon or something. I'm not sure. I kind of forgot what was going on there. Stage 4. I believe it is a commonly accepted theory / scientific fact that Touhou game difficulty ramps up at stage 4, especially. I mean, there's a little bit of an increase, like a small incline or a wheelchair ramp, possibly, for stage 3, but in this case, you would need like a forklift to get the wheelchair-bound person in this analogy up the difficulty curve that is serving as some sort of step. This analogy is terrible and probably politically incorrect, but just for the sake of continuing it, let's say that the disability in place of the wheelchair is playing on easy mode because you are a baby. Like I am right here, I guess. Now let's stop talking about that because it was stupid. So, bullets everywhere, without the boss even being here. That's kind of worrying. And this is why, well, I had a habit of not paying much attention on this stage. Believe me, it didn't end well. And now, frickin' Marissa. Ugh! Your freaking colorful rainbow stars everywhere, all up in my face. I can't stand it. Marissa's probably harder than some of the other bosses in this game that are later than her. And as a bonus, this is where that earworm nature of music finally gets around to being relevant that I mentioned. Panic Bomb! Also, yes, the earworm thing. Marissa's theme, aka the love-colored Master Spark, is commonly found residing within my skull, playing itself over and over in a loop these days. And I guess I have no one to blame for that but Marissa herself, which is good because I need more stuff to blame her for. She stole my brain, my sanity, possibly. She steals a lot of things. That basically sums up what I know about her character. She's a jerk, and she steals everything. By the way, I guess I should have talked about what's going on. Panic Bomb! Again. I think my logic here was, oh, I have like 7 bombs, I guess I should use some. Because, like, why not? It might have been a wiser idea to try to tough it out, but who knows? That Starless Reverie sign is kind of like, how do you dodge this? But then if you actually, like, try to figure it out, it's not hard to figure out. But then I used a bomb anyway. Also, I ignored all those fairies. So I guess they should be happy that I spared some of them. Do fairies go to the Netherworld in Touhou Universe Land Place too? Because there would be a lot of angry people waiting for Yuyuko when she got back home. Though the Netherworld doesn't seem like it's that bad of a place, though all I've seen of it is a still image and endings. Oh well, who cares? More stars everywhere time. Yes. It is as if Marissa's spell cards are Campbell's chicken and stars soup. Although those are not actually spell cards. Anyway, non-directional laser.